Good morning, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes.
Okay. On behalf of Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology and Department of Mechatronics Engineering, I welcome all the professors for this AACT Training and Learning Academy workshop on 3D printing and design. Okay, today we have two sessions. One is a virtual demo on part modeling and virtual demo on assembling of parts. So it will be more interesting and interactive. I like to introduce, very glad to introduce the resource person for this session. He is Mr. Kavi Pradap. He has completed his UG in Aeronautical Engineering and joined Coimbatore CAD Solution Private Limited as support engineer in the year July 2015. And he is specialized in mold tooling. At present, he is working as a SolidWorks Elite Application Engineer in Coimbatore CAD Solutions Private Limited, Coimbatore. So it's really we're very happy to introduce the resource person for this workshop. I hope the session will be more interesting and interactive. So I welcome you, sir.
Hello, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good morning,
Yes, sir.
madam.
You can have. Okay.
Let me share my screen. I'll start.
Sorry,
Who
sir,
may
we can't
speak?
hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible
Okay.
now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can
Is
continue.
my screen is visible?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
visible to everyone?
Visible, sir. Visible.
Hello.
Yeah, it is visible. You can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, very good morning to
Sir, we are not receiving your audio.
Kavi Pradap, sir.
I think sir is out of network. He might be leaving the.
Hello, sir. Good morning to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are
You are
audible.
audible, sir.
Yes, now audible, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Kindly provide your responses on that chat box so that I can do it. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. It's visible now.
Yeah, thank you. So, sorry for the delay and I apologize for the network issues. Okay, good morning to everyone. This is Kavi Pradap from Coimbatore CAD Solution. So, before starting the classes, I would like to explain you about what is SolidWorks and what we are doing as a Coimbatore CAD Solutions. Then we will move on to that. So, as I told you, we are Coimbatore CAD Solutions. We are providing training services for last decade in the field of CAD, FEA, and CFD classes. We have been providing trainings in and around Tamil Nadu as well. Okay? And from 2011, we started Coimbatore CAD Solutions. Uh, through Coimbatore CAD Solutions, we are providing supports for the industries as well. So we are like bridge between the academic institution as well as the industry. Okay, whatever the things that we have learned as well as we acquire the knowledge from the industries and we try to share that with the students that whose future of our industries. Okay, so this is our basic motto first of all, and so most of you know SolidWorks, and from yesterday as well, you have gone through all the different techniques in 3D printing. Okay, so 3D modeling is the basic for the 3D printing. Okay, so whenever you want to print something, you want to create some rapid prototyping, it is very important to have the 3D model. Okay, so today I'm going to explain you how you can create the 3D model. What are the different ways that you have? Okay, and first part is going to be part modeling. The second part is going to be assembly modeling. Okay, assembly. How whenever we create something, it's not going to be a single part. We are going to be creating it as a product. The product is consist of many parts. So we are going to see how you can assemble them as you would do in our real environment. Okay, so that's our main agenda today. So SolidWorks is a CAD model tool. Most of you, I think I have a mix of audience here from mechanical as well as other departments also. So I'm going to start from the basics and I will cover few very important things from the industry point of view. Okay, so most of us know SolidWorks as a CAD model software, but as you can see here, it's not just CAD model software anymore. It's having more than capable of CAD model software. Let me explain you what are the things that is available with SolidWorks. As you can see here, the first thing what you are having here is SolidWorks 3D modeling, which is the basic platform. Okay, so where you can create your mechanical components. Machinery components, sheet metal enclosures. You can create an entire machine. It can be a truck or it can be an aircraft or it can be a simple SPM which can create some different kind of things. So you can create the entire setup in the SolidWorks. That is the power of SolidWorks. You can create whatever the mechanical components that you can create. And we also have electrical part where you can design electrical systems. Okay, you can create single line diagram, multi-line diagram, schematics, and you can check and create bill of material that is required to create that circuit. Okay, and you can collaborate these two things integratively. Okay, the main advantage is that you can integrate both of them, SolidWorks and electricals. So it gives you more benefit, more flexibility. And also we have FEA tools such as simulation, flow simulation, plastics. These things are used to study and simulate structural analysis, flow analysis, etc. So I got a feedback that the audio is not clear. So what about now, sir? Do you still have some problem with? Okay.
No, sir, the audio is clear for us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. I hope net connection is a little bit bumpy over there. Okay. Thank you. So it's kindly provide your feedbacks on the chat so that I can also view that. Thank you. Thank you for your response. So as I was saying, there are different products we have in SolidWorks. So we are mainly focusing on part modeling, mechanical design. I will explain you how you can create from the scratch. Then it can be used. Okay. So then we have inspections. Inspection is mainly for quality control. In order to create first article inspection report. Then we have CAM to create G codes and M codes. Okay, to manage all this data, we have PDM, Composer to create technical communications. So likewise, we have a different suite of products available for all the problems that we would face in a design and manufacturing sector. Okay, so it's not just CAD anymore. You can do more than that. You can design a component from the scratch, and you can do all the things that is required until the manufacturing. Beyond manufacturing, when you want to assemble or when you ship something, if you can provide assembly manuals, etc. Those things, everything is possible with the help of SolidWorks now. Okay. So the different modeling techniques, as I said, 3D modeling is very basic and it is very essential to print the 3D product. Okay. So how do we create that? Mainly there are two ways, as you can see here, feature-based parametric modeling as well as reverse engineering. Okay. So feature-based parametric modeling is that when we have a concept, we can create that concept into a product or a part. Okay. So that is a normal way. We will create a sketch, we will convert that sketch into 3D part, we'll add the material where it is required and remove material where it is needed. So likewise, we will be creating from the scratch one by one. So that is actually a feature-based parametric modeling technique. Then we have reverse engineering. Most of you might have heard about it. Like when you have a picture, you can use the picture, vector pictures, okay, like black and white pictures. You can use that to trace the outer profile and you can convert that into a 3D model. And also we might have known about a 3D scanning. Okay, so we also have 3D scanners, just like 3D printers. We also have 3D scanners, which will help us to capture the 3 dimension of the component. We are not 2D anymore. We have 3D scanning. So when we have the 3D scanning, when we have the total cloud points, you can import the cloud points into SolidWorks and you can do some changes. So whenever we have some components, if you want to do some modifications, you can again create it using feature-based modeling. That is one option. The other option is if it is very organic shape and very complex, it may not be able to create in feature-based modeling. Okay, and or it may take more time than creating it as a mesh modeling. So what we can do is, if it is an organic shape, say for example, if you are doing prosthetics, okay, so when we are doing mechanical hands, we can just scan the hand and based on that we can create the 3D model. Okay, based on that we can do the inner skeletal structures and wirings, etc. We can do all these things in SolidWorks. So basically it has 2 different areas, where one is created based from the sketch part and etc. Then we have reverse engineering. From the product we can get either a picture or you can scan it and you can create it as a mesh modeling. Okay, so these are all the different techniques, and we are going to see mainly how you can create a part, how you can create part and assemblies today Okay. So hope I was clear up to this point. So let me move forward. So when you create we create these models, okay, and it is very important to export it as a the file which can be understood by the 3D printers. Okay, most of us know .stl is the most famous understandable file for the 3D printers, and we also have some additive manufacturing format .amf, .3mf. These are the file types, and we will see how you can export these things. Okay, I will explain how you can export these things, so that if you insert this into a 3D printer, it will start printing. Okay, so these are all the different things that we are going to see for today. So let me jump into the software. So basically, when you open this is how it looks like, SolidWorks. So this is the basic window. Most of us will get like this. When you open a SolidWorks, this is how your window will come. Okay, so as you can see here, we have three major modules: part design, assembly, and drawing. Okay, so part design is where you can create individual parts. Okay, so when you have individual parts, we need to combine them as a product. Okay, when you want to do that, you have to go with assembly. Okay, so assembly is like when we want to assemble, when you want to create something, we will purchase all the products and we will start assembling them in order to create it. Okay, so like that, when you have the individual part, when you created it virtually, you can assemble it using assembly. Then converting it into manufacturable drawing. So we all know, when you want to go for manufacturing, we need to provide the orthographic views and isometric views, and we have to explain how the component dimensions are there, what are the things that needed to be done in drawing. Okay, say for example, how much roughness it should be there, and what kind of plating is to be happen. Okay, so what are the operation that needs to be done after manufacturing or before manufacturing? What are the tolerances that we need to be we need to provide? So you can provide all these kind of things in drawing. Okay, so basically we have three. One is part, the another one is assembly, where you can assemble it. The third one is the drawing. Okay, where you can convert that into a manufacturable drawing. So when we are going for a rapid prototyping, creating a drawing is not necessary. Creating a part and assembly is enough. That's why we are having virtual part as well as virtual assembly classes. So when you're going for rapid prototyping such as 3D printers, we don't need a drawing at all. Okay, when we provide a 3D model, it will start printing the components. Okay, so hope I'm clear up to now. So if you have any queries at any point of my class, kindly let me know in the chat box. So I'll explain those questions. I'll clarify your doubts. Then we will move on to the next one. Okay. So the first thing is part design. Let me select the part. Just click on the part. Let me make sure hope the icons are visible enough. I think the icons are not visible. Kindly let me know.
So can you zoom in? It was not clear.
Yeah, okay, madam. So basically, when you are entering into the SolidWorks, this is how it looks like. 3 parts, assemblies and drawing. You can select the part and just give OK. Okay, you'll be entering into an area where you can create an individual part. Okay. So let me adjust some screen resolutions also. What about now? I think now it might be big enough to view, I think. Is it visible to everyone?
Okay, sir, somewhat better.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Thank you.
So here, basically this is the graphical area where you see the plane area. This is a graphical area where you will create all the 3D models. Okay, let me show you an example. When you have something, a component, a combustion chamber, whatever it is, when you have something, you can just see all these, the 3D model, the creation and the rotation, everything can be seen in this graphical area. Okay, and this thing, this particular heads up toolbar, this is heads up toolbar, where you can use the most frequently used options: front view, top view, side view, section views. You can see, you can provide front view, top view, side views, etc. Okay, so you can access these toolbar. It's called heads up toolbar. You can provide colors, you can change screeners, etc. Those things. Then we have command manager. Okay, all these commands, the things that you can do with SolidWorks, everything will be categorized as features, sketches, surface, sheet metal, those kind of individual tabs. Okay, each tab on the command manager, the entire thing is called command manager. Each tab in the command manager has a set of features, can do set of things like sheet metal design, mold tool design, surface design. Okay, so those kind of things can be done here. So let me show you how you can create these kind of components from a basic sketch. So whenever we want to create a 3D, it has to be started from 2D sketch. When you want to create a rectangular block, we have to start from a rectangular sketch. First, you have to draw the sketch and convert that into a 3D. Okay, so we have two environments for that. One is the sketcher environment, sketch. In the command manager, you'll be having sketch. Okay, so hope most of you also have a software to work with. So if you can't find anything, let me know. So in the command manager, you can see sketch. Now you will be able to access all the things that is required to create a sketch. When you want to create a 2D sketch, we need some references. Say in engineering graphics also, we will have a drawing board. On top of that, we'll be placing the paper and we'll create. Okay, without a reference, without a stationary planar, we cannot create any sketches. So just like that, we need a planes. These 3 planes represents 3 directions of the component. Okay, so whatever we have in real world, everything is a 3D. So these 3 plane represents 3 directions as well as 3 planar. So select the front plane, go for the sketch, the first option, sketch. When you do that, you'll be entering into 2D environment. Okay, the thing that what we are having is a part that is on the 3D environment. If you want to create the part, you have to start from the 2D. To enter into the 2D, first you have to select the plane, then go to the option sketch. So it is common for all the softwares. So if you are worked with the Creo, or if you are worked with the CATIA, or some of you must have worked with the SolidWorks also. Some of you are not seen these kind of softwares like CAD softwares. So if you in future, if you see any other software also, the method, the techniques that we are doing is going to be the same, but the names of those individual options is going to be varied, nothing else. So select the plane, go to the first option, sketch. Thereby you will be entering into 2D environment. So here you can see you'll be able to access all these tools, lines, points, circles. So when you want to create a cylinder, just draw the circle. The circle dimensions can be anything. You can enter the value here. Sorry. So you can enter the value here. Diameter is 100. Just enter that. You can provide dimension. Okay. So providing dimension is very important when you create something. So actually, I got a command like PPT is not visible. I'm explaining it in SolidWorks. I hope for everyone the window is clear. I'm not showing PPT. It's actually a software. Is it visible to everyone? The software.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your response. So if you provide the dimension only, it will be in the same 100 mm. Otherwise, it will not be 100. Okay, so providing dimension is very important. When I create it as a 100, even after that, if I try to move it, the dimension of the component will be varied. It can be varied by just dragging and drawing. It can be varied. Okay, so that's why we need to provide dimensions. So here you can see smart dimension using the single option. Okay, using the single option, you can provide all the dimensions. It can be a linear dimension, distance between 2 point, line, or radius, diameter, angle. You can provide all these things using a single dimension. So select, you can provide 100, the component will be 100. Okay, so from this what we can understood is that it is called parametric. Okay, parametric in the sense you can drive the geometry. You can drive the geometry using dimensions. When you change the dimension of that particular geometry, the dimension of that component will also be changed. So for example, it is 100 mm. Okay, so if I try to change it to 200 mm, the size will be doubled. Okay, as you can see, the size will be doubled to 200. So likewise, when you change the dimension, the sketch shape of the component also gets changed. Okay, that's what parametric is. So before 2009 AutoCAD, we were having non-parametric. After that, in AutoCAD also we are having a parametric. So the most of us don't know how to use it. Like when you are doing a 2D sketches, okay, if you draw a circle and when you're creating itself, you have to provide radius. Like if you are providing a 50 as a radius, it will be 50. Okay, if you want to provide the dimension, you can provide it as a 50. If you change it to 100 or something, the shape of the component will not change. Only the dimension value will be changed. That's what non-parametric is. You cannot drive the geometry using dimension, but that can be done in SolidWorks, CATIA, and other softwares. Okay, so once you created the sketch can be anything. In this case, I have a circle. I'm going to convert this as a cylinder. Okay, so once you have created the sketch, you have to come out of the sketch. Just click this. You will be out of the sketch. You can convert this into 3D using these feature options. Okay, so the first 5 things: extrude boss, revolve boss, sweep, loft, these things, the name boss / base. Okay, these individual options used to create the material. Okay, the other options, cut options, extrude cut, hole wizard, revolve cut, sweep cut, these things are used to remove the material. That is the difference between these two, like positive and negative. So you can create the material, you can remove the material. So first let me create the material. If I want to convert this as a cylinder, select the sketch, go for extrude. You can see the length that it is creating. So you can vary the length of the component. Whatever the dimension you want, you can vary the length. Okay, so first you can create the sketch, and based on that you can vary the length. So the diameter is 200. The length I need is 200. So it is going to be a cylinder with the diameter and the length as 200. Once you've given the dimension, length as well as the dimension, just give OK. So this will be converted as a cylinder. Then you can, when you want to create something, it can be any component. It is just a cylinder. So most of you might be thinking like it is very basic. Yeah, I will explain the other. I'll explain one more component also, which will be having other features also. So for those who doesn't know the CAD modeling, this is for them. You can create the 2D sketch and you can convert this as a 3D. Here you can see all 3 views of the component. You can create anything you want, but this is the basic way. First you have to create the sketch, then you have to convert it as a 3D model. There are different ways of converting it as a 3D model. Extrude is one of them. Revolve. We have sweep. loft. Let me give you an example over that. So if you want to remove something, okay, I want to remove a material inside of this. So select the point, provide the value, provide some dimensions to this. So go for extrude cut. Extrude cut is to remove the material. As I said, extrude boss is to add the material, extrude cut is to remove the material. So you can perform this operation. Just like that, you can remove the material. Okay, so you can add the material as well as you can remove the material. So when you want to create some component, can be anything. Okay, so let me show you one example. If you want to create a component like this, so as you can see here, we have a top view, front view, as well as an isometric view is there, sectional side view is there. Okay, different views are available here. When you want to create these kind of complete component, we have to start from the basic and we have to create it one by one. Okay, so let me show you how you can do this. Hope up to this is clear. So when you want to create a component, it can be anything, either this component or can be any component. We have to analyze the component and we have to separate them. Okay, say for example, in this case, this is the isometric view of the component. This particular is the isometric view of the component. In the isometric view, in the base, you can see it is actually a rectangular part, and there is a cylindrical part on top of the rectangle. Okay, and there is a diamond shape. Then we have a protrusion on the cylinder. Okay, and a lot of holes are there. So likewise, you have to split them one by one. Once you have splitted it, okay, you can create it as a model. First, when you see a model, we have to split them as a identical components, rectangle, circle, square. Then we can create that using SolidWorks in the same options. So do not think that it is just a rectangle. What I'm explaining is a cylinder or a rectangle, because whatever the component you are seeing in a real world, everything is made up of basic shapes. So when you know how to create a basic shape, if you combine them together, you can do any kind of shapes. Okay, so that's how it is. So whatever you're seeing here, I'm going to explain that using a basic shapes only. Okay, so let me show you how you can do this. So here you can see in the basic shape of that rectangle, the bottom is actually a rectangle. Let me see the dimension. So here you can see in the top view, when you see the component from the top, we could see easily it is rectangle, but it is a all dimensions are same. Actually, it is a square. Okay, so that is represented with a dimension as well as a symbol. So here you can see there is a symbol that is representing 80 square 80. Okay, this box symbol that represents it is actually a square. Okay, so from that we can see there is a square. The dimension of the square is 80 and edges of that square is filleted for radius 10. Okay, so let me show that how you can create it. So since we seen the component from the top view and taking a top plane here, okay, I think you could match that. When you see a component from the top view, whatever you see, that has to be on the top plane. If you see a component from the front view, elevation, okay, so you can do that in front. Okay, if you either you see it as a plan, top view, you have to do it on the top plane. If you see a elevation, front view, okay, you have to do it on the front. Okay, a side view. If you're drawing a side view, you can go for right plane. Okay, simple as that. Elevation, plan, or side view, you can do all these things using this. Okay, so since it is a plan or top view, I'm selecting this top plane. Go to the sketch, select the sketch option. So it's as simple as that. First, if you want to create a model, we have to draw it as a 2D sketch. When I see from the top view, it was a square. Okay, so let me go to this. Here you can see we have different options. Line, I have a different kind of line. When you go for circle, different circles. When I go for rectangles, I can see corner rectangle, 3-point rectangle, 3-point corner rectangle, parallelogram. See all these shapes: parallelogram, square, rhombus, rectangles. All these things are 4-side polygons, and these things can have a different nature. Okay, so we basically know that we can take for this, we can take a center point, a rectangle. Okay, square is also a type of rectangle because the difference is it's going to have a same dimensions. So width and height, both of them is going to be 80. So this is 80 and this is 80. So how did I give these dimensions? Let me show you once again. When you draw this shape, okay, when you draw this shape, go for the smart dimension, select this line, provide 80, and select this line, provide 80. So if you provide both of them, you can see the color variation in the component. So hope it is visible to everyone. The color will be varied. Previously it was in blue color, now it is in black color. Okay, that is actually a nature of SolidWorks, that if a sketch is not constrained, the dimension of the sketch is not fully given, then it will be in blue color. If all the dimensions that is required for that particular sketch is given, then it will be in black color. Okay, that is the basic difference. Hope you understood this. Once you have given the dimension, you will not able to change the shape by just dragging. Okay, but if it is in blue color, let me draw another thing. So here, if it is in blue color,
Govind sir, you please stop presenting, sir. Govind sir, you please stop presenting. Govind sir, yeah.
Hope it is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir. It's visible again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your response. So here you can see blue color lines that can be changed. Okay, if I try to drag the same black color point, it cannot be changed. So that is why we are providing dimensions. So when we define this line is 80, the line will be 80. It cannot be changed by just dragging. Okay, if you don't define it, it can be anything. Okay, so that's why defining a sketch is very, very important. Just explaining you once again, since it is very important. Okay, so you can just drag. If it is a blue color line, if it is a black color line, you will not be able to drag it. I'm trying to drag it, but it is not dragging. That's because I have defined the dimension of that sketch. The shape is 80 on the top, 80 on the side. Okay, so now you can create this extrude. So you can go for the extrude. You can provide 12 mm. So the dimension of that 12. So this is the top view, as you can see. So if I zoom out, you can see the front view. Okay, in the front view at the bottom, you can see there is a rectangular shape. That's our rectangle. The height of that rectangle is 12 mm. So here you can see wherever my mouse is roaming, there you can see it is 12. Okay, so hope this is clear to everyone. I'm just a little bit zooming in to show you the 12 mm. Okay, so that's why I'm giving the dimension it as 12 mm in boss extrude. So the total height, you can see I have created a 2D sketch and we created a rectangular shape. So the height of this component is going to be 12. Now it is time to provide filleted edges. when we are having sharp edges, it could create some problems. Say, for example, if it is a sharp edges, manufacturing a sharp edge will be little bit difficult compared to curved edges. Okay, we'll be manufacturing it using a conventional lathe or milling machine, or even if it is in CNC also, creating a sharp edges is very difficult. After creating less radius edges, then we have to pile it. Okay, so that is one. The another thing is that when you are creating sharp edges in the component, that's where the stress concentration of if it is mechanically undergoing stress, concentration of a stress will be very higher at the sharp edges. So these are all there are a lot of other reasons also. Handling a sharp edge component will be difficult also. Sometimes it will be harmful for the human also. So converting this sharp edges is very, very important to smooth edges. Okay, so there are two ways you can do that. One is fillet, the another one is chamfer. Fillet is actually converting it as a smooth edge. Chamfer is actually converting it as a flat edge. Okay, so you'll see the flange, chamfer and fillet, everything on the process one by one. So let me select this edge. SolidWorks has an intelligent selection to select all the 4 edges automatically. Okay, as you can see here, I can go for the fillet option. So select the edge where you want to provide the fillet. The similar edges, similar kind of edges can be selected using this intelligent selection. Okay, so now the radius is 10 mm, just give okay. So whatever we have seen from the top view, it is very similar to this. Now let me go back to that. Here you can see it is similar to that, except we are having a lot of shapes, holes are there. First we need to create that. So in the top, okay, in the top of this rectangular plate, we have to draw a cylindrical shape. The diameter of the cylinder is 50. Here you can see this is the cylinder. From this from the diameter of the cylinder is 50. I have little bit zoomed in, so you might be seeing it right now. So this is actually 50. Okay, so
Kavi Pratap sir.
Select this face. Yes, sir.
Kavi Pratap sir, sorry for disturbing, sir. Is the screen sharing enabled only now, sir, in your lab?
Yes, sir. It is enabled, sir.
Okay, sir. We got a command. Okay. Thank you, sir. Carry on.
Oh, yeah. So I can select this face, go for the sketch, new sketch. Okay. So here you can see actually whatever the sketch we want to draw, either it can be a plane or it can be a planar face. Okay, but you will not be able to select this particular face because it is a cylindrical surface. We will not be able to select this face as a reference. Okay, so if it is a reference face, it has to be planar or plane. So let me go back to its original position, Control 8. There are a lot of shortcuts are there. I will explain it once I created the model. For from front view to front view, back view, right view, top view, side views, everything there is a shortcut. I'll explain it. So now what? Let me draw a circle cylindrical area for 50. 50. So when you right click and move, you'll be able to see this mouse gesture. Okay. So this is why this is where I'm getting this smart dimension. Without selecting here, if you right click and move, the smart dimension option will be enabled. This is actually one of the shortcut. Okay, so it is very quickest way to access smart dimension. So once you created the sketch, go for the extrude it for the length. So here we need to find the total length. The total height is 62. From the top, it will be 50, since the height of the rectangular area is 12. From 62 to 12, you can see the difference is 50. So this will be 50. So just give OK. So now it will be it is extruded. Now you can remove the material. We have created the material. As you can see from the front view sectional view, there is a hole with a diameter of 26. Here you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Sir, I think little bit noise is there. So kindly mute yourself. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your response. So here you can see there is a section view in the front view. Let me zoom in even a bit. Hope you can see this. So here it is actually, there is a hole at the center. Okay, if I see from the top view also, there is a hole. The diameter of that particular hole is 26. So that we are going to create. Select the top face, sketch, go for the sketch option once again. Okay, so now we will be able to create the sketch. So select this circle, create it, and provide the dimension for this is 26. So likewise, when you want to create a model, it's like a building block. Okay, wherever the material is required, we need to add the material. Where there is removal of material is needed, you can remove it using the cut options. Once you created the circle, come out of it, select the sketch, go for extrude cut. So through all. So throughout the distance, everything has to be removed. So let me provide through all, or you can just drag the line, drag the arrow. You can click and drag the arrow to control the length actually. Okay. So hope this is visible to everyone. So here you can see, you can just click and drag the arrow to increase the length of the component. The material is removed. So likewise, one by one, we have to create each one of this option. Each one of these feature, everything is listed in the feature manager. Let me show you by zooming in. Hope now it is clear to everyone. Here you can see this is boss extrude fillet that we have created. Again, an extrude of cylinder. Then we have removed a material. Okay, so likewise, whatever the feature you do, everything will be listed here. So you can easily identify how you have created or how somebody has created the model. You can understand how it is being created. So now the other thing, from the sketch, you can see there is a cutout on the both side of the cylinder. So here you can see there is a cutout on the both side. So there is a circular cut. If you see from the top view, you can see the dimension. You see from the top view, you can see the dimension. The radius is 15 on both sides. So let me select the top face, get into the sketch. Let me create the dimension. Let me create that component sketch. If the radius is 15, you can provide the diameter as a 30. Okay. So extrude cut. We are going to remove the material. Extrude cut. Just give okay. So when you want to add a material, extrude boss. When you want to remove a material, extrude cut. Okay. So I hope it is clear to everyone. If it is not clear or any point you have a doubt, kindly let me know. So now we will be able to mirror it. Whatever we have done on the other side, we can do it on the opposite side also. Now to create entire thing, we can actually mirror it. So you can do that using mirror option here. So mirror option will be available here. Select the mirror option. Select the plane, center plane. About the center plane, you can select this cylindrical. You can see it will be created on the opposite direction. So if you want to do some changes after creating it, so you might be wondering, like, even after creating, can it be editable? Yeah, it is editable. So what you can do is you can actually even after creating this also, you will be able to edit it. So let me show you how you can do this. So here you can see it can be changed to the dimension wherever you want. So let me go back to the dimension. Here you can see it is from the center, it is 38. Okay, so if it is 38 from the center, you can provide the dimension 38. When you do that, there will be some intersection over the cylinder. You can see the same thing here. There is a cutout here. So that is why the cutout is there. So let me come out. So you can modify it on both directions, both directions. So in both directions, the material will be removed. Hope this is clear. So likewise, even after creating the component, if you want to edit something, it will be easy. You can just go back to the sketch and you can change the dimension. You can come out of it. It will be updated. Yes, I will explain this step once again. There is a question asking me to explain this. Previously, I didn't define this dimension. Previously, I just created it. So now, after defining this dimension, when I come out, you can see it is removing material in only one direction, not on the other direction. In order to remove this direction, go for the extrude cut, extrude through all on both sides. In both sides, you have to remove the material. You just have to change option to through all both sides, which means all the material on the both side within the sketch will be removed. So if you do it on this direction, that will be on the other direction. Since it is mirrored, whatever you do it on this direction, that will be on the other direction. So it is very connected. Whatever you do, everything will be associative. Other things will also be get changed. Hope this is clear. So now the other things, there is a lot of holes, and there is a diamond shape component needs to be created on the top. Okay, so and also you can see at the center hole, you can see there is a chamfer 2 into 45 degree. It is actually a dimension of chamfer. As I said before, if you want to convert a sharp edge, you can convert the sharp edge into fillet as well as chamfer. So the dimension 2 cross 45 is actually for chamfer. So if you want to do this, perform this chamfer, just right below the fillet, you have option called chamfer. Below the fillet, you have a drop down, select it, go for the chamfer, select this edge, select the bottom edge, and you can provide the dimension on the left hand side. The left hand side, you can provide the dimension as well as angle. So let me zoom in a bit. So I think it should be visible now. So you will be able to change this 10 mm into 2 mm. And 2 cross 45. As it was defined in the dimension, you will be able to provide 2 cross 45. Okay. So just go upward. You can provide this green tick. See, whenever you do an operation in SolidWorks, you have to press this green tick. Okay, when you press the green tick only, it will take it as a okay. It will complete the operation. Just give okay. Okay, so let me zoom out to show. Yeah. So now you can see the edges are chamfered. Okay, there is a section view here. This option is called section view. Okay, so if I select this option, the component will be sectioned. Component will be split into two half. You can see how the component will be in the inner side. Okay, so as it was defined in the front view, there is chamfer on the both direction. Okay, so likewise, when you create something, you can compare it with the drawing. So hope this is helpful. So let me go back to the component here. The last thing what we want is that we have to create this shape. We have to create this particular shape, this diamond like shape needs to be created. So in order to do that, if I see from the front view, I can see the dimensions of that component. Here you can see. So these are the dimensions. So you can create a circle with a radius of 35. You can see R35 radius here. Okay, and also 50 mm away from the center, you can see there is a center point and having two circles, one with the diameter 14, the other with the radius 15, which means the diameter will be 30. This 14 is not defined in this view. 14 is defined on the front view. Here you can see. So when you have a different views of a component, okay, we might be studied in engineering graphics, most of us. So when you are having a different views of a same component, front view, top view, side view, we need to correlate those dimensions. If you cannot find some dimension in the top view, you have to correlate the same particular area on the front view, and you will be able to find the dimension. If it is not on the top and front, it will be on the side view. Okay, so you have to correlate all these things, and you have to understand the model and identify as a simple shapes. Then you will be able to create any complex shapes. So hope this is clear. So now I'm going to do the same thing. First, I'm going to create I'm going to create a sketch on the top face. Select the top face, go to the sketch. So let me draw center lines just for reference, vertical and horizontal lines. You can see the color texture of this line. This is not actually a normal line. Hope we can, it is visible to everyone very clearly. You can see the texture of the line. The texture of the line is small dash and long dash line. Okay, we have studied a different type of lines, dot lines, dash lines, as well as straight standard lines. Okay, this this is called actually a center line. Small dash and long dash line is actually a center line. Okay, in SolidWorks we have only two types. One is center line as well as standard line, continuous line. Okay, we don't have other type of lines in SolidWorks. Those things are not needed mostly. So this is more than enough actually. So let's go back to so let me create a circle with radius. Let me provide the radius of this circle. Here you can see. Let me show you the dimension. The radius is 35, so the dia will be 70. This is diameter. Provide it as 70. Now from the center point, from the center 50 mm away, we have another circle. Draw another circle with the dimension 30. Radius is 15, so the diameter will be 13. This one. The distance from the center to the center point of that circle is 15. From here to here, it is going to be 50. Now we'll be able to create a line between these two. Just draw a tangent line. Create a tangent line, or just draw a line and make it tangent. You can provide a relations when just like we would do in our geometry. You can provide relations. Relations is like providing parallelism, perpendicular between two components. Likewise, press Control, select these two things, and provide tangent. Okay, just like that. Press select these two things, provide tangent. Okay. So likewise, you can provide different relations also. Once you have given, you can see there is extra portion. You can go for the trim. Go for the last trim. There are 5 different type of trims. You can go for the last trim. Just select the portion that will be trimmed. Unwanted portions can be trimmed. Just zoom in, remove the unwanted portion. That's it. Once you removed it, you can see everything is in black color. We need the same kind of line on 4 edges. Okay. To do that, you can just do a mirror. Go for the mirror entities. You can select the circle as well as the line. Okay. In the mirror entities, there are 2 boxes. One, the selections for the things that you need to be mirrored. There is another box to select the reference about which you are going to do the mirror. Okay, so select this mirror about. The second box, select this vertical line. You can see there is a yellow color preview. Okay, so just give OK. So it will be on the other direction. Okay, so you can create the sketch and you can convert that into a mirror. Just like that, you can also do another mirror horizontally. Okay, so first select these 2 lines on the boxes. Then in the mirror about, let me zoom in to show you. There are 2 kind of boxes here. Entities to mirror, mirror about. Mirror about is a box where you have to select the reference. Reference is nothing but the center line. Select this center line. You can see the select the horizontal center line. You can see the preview. Yellow color preview is there. So go to the OK, and it will be created. So now we just need only the outer portion. There are a lot of unwanted things are here. Let me trim it. Go for trim, zoom in, trim the unwanted portions. Whenever I trim it, you can see the color of the component is getting changed. That because it is getting closed. Okay, when you have a closed geometry, this is how it looks. It will be shaded. Okay, you can see the difference. That is because of this particular option, shaded contour region. Okay. So if it is shaded, it is a closed sketch. Nothing else. You can see it is perfectly closed. So we need to draw another circle in order to create a hollow diamond shape at the center. We need to create another circle. Draw a circle with a diameter of 26. Go for the circle from the center point. I have to draw it for 26 diameter. Provide the circle 26. If it is not given, the entire hole will be filled actually. Okay, the hole will be filled. So I'm just creating a circle. So let me come out. You can see the sketch is on the top. Okay, right now I'm out of the sketch. As you can see, the sketch is on the top. But when I see from the front view, the sketch is not actually on the top. It is some distance away from the top. Here you can see it is not actually on the top. It is actually some distance away from the sketch. Okay. So we can calculate the dimension. Actually, we need to find the difference. We need to find the difference between these two. 62 to 45. So you'll get a 17 distance. In the 17, the bottom portion will be there. From there, it will be 8 mm. Okay. So by just calculating this dimension, just select this sketch, go for extrude. The length of that extrude is 8 mm, not 83, 8 mm. Let me provide 8. We change the dimension, you can see the dimension is changed, 8 mm. And there is another option on the top called from. Change this to offset. Okay, change this to offset. You can enter the value of 17 mm. So we have calculated the difference as 17. And also here you can see when I do the offset, it is traveled 17 mm away from the face where I created the sketch. Okay, so likewise, either you can create material from wherever you created the sketch, or else you can move it from one place to another place using the dimension. As well as you can change the direction, reverse the direction in the opposite direction. You can use this double side arrow to reverse. Here you can see the difference. Previously it was on the top, now it is on the bottom. So likewise, you can use these options to control it. This particular option will be very, very tricky. I hope you understood this. I hope it is clear to everyone. If it is not, kindly let me know. Because we are actually moving the component wherever we created, we are moving it from one place to another place, and also we are changing the direction. Okay. So now we need to create 2 more holes on the top. So select this. Here you can see there are 2 more holes for radius. Sorry, diameter 14. It will be given here. For the diameter 14, we have to extrude cut. Select the top face, go to the sketch, and create a circle. You can make them concentric. Either while you're creating, you can create it as a concentric circles, or else you can create, you can just draw the circle, then you can make it concentric, just like we did the tangency. Okay, so you can go for the circle, you can create a circle wherever you want with radius 14, the diameter 14. Select this circle, select this circle, concentric. Okay, just like the tangency, we can provide concentric. Let me show you, let me zoom in a bit. Hope this is clear to everyone. So go for concentric so that they both will be in the same center point. Okay. Just give okay. Extrude. So extrude cut, you can use these dimensions to drag it, and also we know how you can mirror it. So you can use the right plane to mirror this particular hollow cylinder cut. You can just mirror the cut. So whatever you do it on one side, the other side can also be created as a same. Okay, so just like that, in the top view, we have to create a hole for the dimension. Here you can see diameter 10. So select the top face, go to the sketch, First, draw a PCD. PCD is nothing but a pitch circle. Here you can see there is a dot and dash line which is connecting all 4 circles. Center point. This particular circle is called PCD. Okay, the diameter of that circle is actually 85. Here you can see the diameter of that circle is 85. So first, I have to draw a circle with the diameter 85. So let me draw it. So provide the dimension 85. Now the intersection between this line and this cross section, it has to be properly at the diagonal, right? If it is a diagonal, it has to intersect at the corner. So select both of them, create an intersection. So let me connect this. Let me draw a line from the center point to this, a diagonal line. So the intersection of these two can be a place where you can create a circle. Okay, it is not actually a concentric, so it has to be intersection between those two. So create a circle with the dimension dia of 10. Then you can convert these two circles. These two lines and the circles are used for construction, so you can convert that into dash lines. Okay, dash and small dash and long dash lines, center lines. So here you can see. So these things are converted into small dash and long dash lines. Now you can use the same profile to do extrude cut. Remove the material on that particular area. So when you want to create something around the cylindrical area, okay, when you want to create number of duplicates, you can use it, you can create it using circular pattern. So for the circular pattern, where you can select the feature whichever you want to create it as a circle, then cylindrical surface where you want to create, you can see total number of instances is given as 12. Let me change the instance. Let me zoom in a bit to show you. So the total direction is 30 degree. The dimension is actually 4. Provide 4. Give okay. So let me zoom out. So here you can see the entire component is finished. When I keep it in isometric view, it looks the same as the isometric view we have here. The only thing that is left out is the projection here. Okay, there is a projection from the center, from the side view. So let me create that projection. From this face, go to the sketch. We have to draw that projection. So let me draw a center line to get a center. So let me delete this. So you can use the same line to convert it as a use mirror to mirror it. Connect it using circle. You can provide tangencies. Provide tangency between these two things. This will be properly tangented. And connected from the base. Now you can provide the dimension and you can convert this as a proper sketch. So trim the unwanted things. You don't want this. You can provide the radius, the protrusion on the side thing. The radius of that is the total height is 35. The radius is 10. So let me provide this dimension. This is to be radius 10. Total height from the top to the bottom is 35. So then you can do the extrusion. Go for extrude and up to next, reverse the direction. You can change the directions wherever you want. Then up to next. It will be positioned up to the next. Then you can cut out, remove the material at the center. So likewise, as you have seen, when you want to create some component, it can be a single of feature or it can be number of features. You cannot define it the initial stage itself. We have to create all these features one by one in order to completely create the component. Hope this is clear. So if you have any queries, kindly let me know in the chat box. I will explain it. If you haven't understood any of the component or any of the area, so let me know in the chat box. I will explain it once again. The last thing, so creating it, actually there are a lot of benefits creating this 3D model. One thing is that you can apply a material and you can see how much weight it is going to be. Okay, so right click here, you can apply all this material, plain carbon steel, aluminum alloy, ABS. You can apply all this material property and you can see how much weight it is going to be there. So I have applied plain carbon steel. Just right click on the material. Let me zoom in a bit. Right click on the material. You can select what are the material you want. And you can validate the weight. Go for the evaluate tab. Go for mass properties. In the evaluate tab, there will be a mass properties. You can identify the mass here. The mass, volume, density, everything will be listed here for that particular component based on the material we have provided. Hope this is clear to everyone. Now it is visible as you can see. It is nearly 1 kg, 1253 grams. Okay, so now you can change different materials. I can go for plastics. I can go for ABC nylons. Okay, you can apply all this material property and you can see how much mass it is having. What is the difference in mass? When I'm applying different component, you can see different textures is being applied. This is for ABC. When I go for copper, this will be in different color. This is for copper. So likewise, when I apply different components, even when I go for cast iron, you can see the textures, casted texture. Hope it is visible in the screen. You can see the texture clearly. You can see here how the texture of the cast iron is given. So it's not just material. You can see the textures, weight. Okay. So with that, I'll conclude this session for now. We are having a break at 11:15, I think. So if you have any questions, I'll take now. Or if you have any questions also, you can always ask
Kavi,
me
sir.
after the break at 11:30 when we are.
Kavi, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kavi, sir. Actually, the thing is that all the participants now they are requesting for this material, sir. We have got n number of comments from our
Yes, sir.
participants that. Sir, we have got n number of comments from our participants that this is a worthy session of yours, the first session, and they want this material, sir. We will share the video with them. They are asking like manual, sir. Several participants,
Yes, sir.
professors, they are asking for like manual. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I'll share it with you, and you can share it. And also, I will refer some of the SolidWorks website itself, where they can learn even from the basic itself. It is a tutorial videos also there, and examples are there. Everything there. I'll share the website with you. I'll show you how you can create a login in that everything. So that will be helpful for the staffs as well as their students also, sir.
Sir,
Surely
maybe
will show
I
that in the
think
next-
yes, sir. By the next session ending, no, we will have a small revamp on that, sir. It will be useful for all the professors and our
Sure, sir.
participants. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, we can have a break now. Professors, kindly note, we can have a break. We will have a short break. We will come back at 11:30 a.m. The next session starts at 11:30 a.m. Thank you.